Here I was being like, they're gonna bring the sass, but they brought the sass to a whole new level. They're definitely bringing the heat so far, that's for sure. Hello Claire Bears, it's LC. Welcome to my channel if you are new, and if you're returning, welcome back. Friends, I'm so excited. This is my first reaction that I am filming, and I think about 3 weeks. This might be the longest I've gone without recording a reaction for my channel because I just got back from my Korea trip, which was the most fun. And because of that, I'm now very behind on all of the comebacks that have happened because, of course, the K-pop industry never sleeps. So first things first for me when I got back was to react to the latest album from I-DLE, which is Heat, which is I-DLE's first all-English EP. So I will be reacting to the entire album today, starting with their first take performance of I Do and ending with Tall Trees. So let's get into the video, shall we? But before we do, please don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoy it and subscribe to my channel. For today's beverage of the day, I have a Gatorade Zero in the grape flavor, which I don't know about you, but for me is the flavor that, you kind of get if there's no other flavors at the grocery store left. So, no offense to the grape lovers out there. It just it tastes like a popsicle. Yeah, like a grape popsicle or freezy. Although I've been told that Americans don't say freezy. Apparently, if you're in the US, you would call it a freeze pop, freezer pop, popsicle, or an icy, and then an ice pole or ice pop in the UK, icy pole in Australia, sip up, and Pepsi Ice in India. Wow, I'm learning so much. Okay, obviously getting sidetracked, but this is all I had left in my fridge because I'm still trying to get back into the groove of things. As of literally maybe 2 days ago, I was still severely jet lagged and I was hoping to film this reaction sooner, but it was that thing where, you're just you can feel your head just bobbing at 5:30 in the afternoon. And I felt like filming a video severely jet lagged would not make the best content. But still trying to get back into the groove of things, and buying drinks for the drink of the day was something that slipped my mind. But as always, if you have a suggestion for a future beverage of the day, then please feel free to leave a comment. So let's start the reaction today with I Do, which I've heard before, and I've actually done 2 reactions to this song already on my channel. The first one being the music video, and then the second one being their NYC Skyline special clip. So now I'm going to be reacting to the first take performance, which I've done a couple of first take reactions on my Patreon, but based on kind of a cursory search on YouTube, I think I am safe to react to this. I guess we'll find out. And I'm always excited to, listen to some live vocals from I-DLE. So let's listen to the performance. The click of their shoes, it's very ASMR-y. Oh, happy belated birthday to Minnie. As usual, they all look stunning. And I like this soft filter that they have. I like this kind of stripped back instrumental. Oh! This is incredible. Like, I just love how well-rounded as vocalists I-DLE is. I feel like all of them bring something different to the table with their vocals. I feel like Yuki just has this really commanding presence with her vocals. Minnie has this like soft ethereal vibe. Mian is very like feminine, but there's still like this powerful mystique to her voice. Soyeon just has that little bit of edge. And then Shuhwa's voice has this kind of quiet confidence about it. So I'm really enjoying this about this performance so far. I feel like this song really highlights those differences between them. Like the guess it's my fault. Kind of vocal fry. Again, it just like adds that bit of sass, that little vocal fry. And then Soyeon just sounds so sure through her vocals of like, she's not the one. And Mian kind of adding that element too of like, she's so sure, like, I will break that shit up. And it's kind of cool that in this song, they have those two parts playing off each other of Mian and Soyeon with the more kind of like forceful vocals of like, I'm going to break that shit up, I'm going to do this. But then we have Shuhwa and Minnie coming in with the almost like softer side of it of like, she won't do anything like I do. She's not going to, you know, support you, love you. And that's the softer side of it. And then it's like, but don't do this, but I love you. And it's like the kind of back and forth between the two and having, you know, the people they chose to sing those individual parts was super clever. And very well suited to their voices. Just vibing. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. And I feel like this song could make people forget that Soyeon is a rapper. I mean, obviously, based on this song, she's a singer too. And then I think obviously we forget that this is in English, and I'm going to try to be mindful of this throughout the album, of the fact that they are singing in what is their second, potentially third, potentially fourth language, which adds an even more difficult element to this all. But I think it's time now to go to our title track of the album, which is I Want That. So, you know, after this slightly melancholic song that we have for I Do, I'm curious what we're going to do here with the title track. Is this going to be something a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more high energy? Knowing I-DLE, probably. Are we going to bring back some of the camp factor that we had going on with Queen Card? Going to be looking out for those things here, so let's watch. C'est la vie. They on a yacht? Oh. What did they do? Ooh.
I want the oh my OMG. I want that right now, no BRB. I want the all matte big black SUV. I want that, I want that. I want the oh my OMG. I want that.
Ooh, are we gonna like a rap song?
I want that we messy, no c'est la vie. I want that, I want that. Don't stop, we ran through the yellow.
This beat though.
Then on stage collecting the medals. We hearing no higher level.
Oh.
Come up for air.
Oh my goodness. Okay, still still kind of dark despite the beat. Ooh. There's almost like a Gaga element. Ooh. Do you know what this reminds me of? Is Work Bitch. You know, like, you want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? That's kind of what that was reminding me of, but I'm gonna go back and start the chorus over because as soon as I made that association, I just like stopped listening. So let's start over. I can't with this beat though. It goes so hard. I love their outfits. Share one seat. The darkness of this though. This like, I could definitely see myself just booty shaking to this. They're just like incredible at making booty shakers. And it's very much like giving, I know this is a toxic relationship, but I still want to be in it and I'd rather have this than nothing. But we'll feel like, I'll look at the lyrics a little bit closer once we finish the video. You and me, I want that we maxi, no c'est la vie, I want that, I want that. So here I was being like, oh, this is kind of toxic, and then they just like fully say it. This is like a whole drama. Who did that? Who did that high note? Oh my gosh. So did they just like fully kill him and steal his yacht and then so did it all really happen or was it all a dream? So I'm kind of curious if this one guy is actually like not even 2 timing, like 5 timing the group, or if he's just kind of like a representative of a toxic relationship and the different kinds of toxicity that can exist. Because, you know, in some of the different clips, it kind of alluded to things getting playful and then all of a sudden it just like goes a little bit too far. And the toxicity and the almost like danger of it comes through. And that's when the like, I'm gonna get you before you get me comes in. And some of the lyrics in the song kind of conflict with one another because it's almost like, I don't know whether I love or I hate you. Because of this line, I want you to fall hardest of all until the tears roll down your face. If there's anyone in your life that you love, it's kind of hard to imagine wanting them to fall hardest of all and for tears to stream down their face. But then shortly thereafter, there's this line, share one seat from LA to London. This could turn into something. And I really love the instrumental of this song. The kind of like twisted, warpy beat goes along with this kind of warped fantasy or, you know, vision that they have for this relationship. And this line, like saying my name or nothing at all, it really builds on the intensity of I Do. Like I Do, there felt like an almost like sadness to it, but here it's almost like an anger, especially in terms of their actions in this video and the anger that they're receiving, and then, you know, like giving back when they shoot him. Also, I feel like I need to take a moment to appreciate Chuhua and her rap in this. She just like has this innocence almost in her voice, but you know she's not innocent. And I also really loved Miyeon's vocals in that pre-chorus. Again, it had this like Gaga-esque intensity to it that just like rings through. They're definitely bringing the heat so far, that's for sure. But okay, let's get into some of our B-sides here, starting with Eyes Roll. So I'm going to guess with a song like Eyes Roll that we're going to get a little bit of sass here, where, you know, an idol album would not be complete without a little bit of sass. So in the video, the ladies exacted their revenge. They escaped on the boat for freedom. So with Eyes Roll, are they going to get dragged back into things? What's the trajectory now? I'm always very curious about the ebbs and flows of an album, like the narrative thread that goes through it. And if I feel like an album doesn't have one, I make one up. So let's listen to Eyes Roll and find out. Keeping up the beat. Oh. Ooh. Oh my god. I'll do anything you want. Miyeon! Oh my gosh. Here I was being like, they're gonna bring the sass, but they brought the sass to a whole new level. She's gonna make your eyes roll back. Oh. I did not think it would gonna be eyes rolling that way. I feel like I'm happy they're not afraid to like take it there, you know? Go a little bit edgier for like an English release. Always Idol has an edge, but like even edgier than usual. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling like like, am I blushing? I love that just right out the gate, the first line is, hard to handle, best be careful when you work that ass. And this, like, she's a work of art. She's gonna break your heart. It almost sounds like a threat of like, watch out. Like, best be careful because she's gonna fuck you up. But you're gonna love it though. I don't even know who they're talking about, but I believe them. And I almost feel like timid reading this out loud. Make your eyes roll back to your brain. So good, light you up. No problem. Just like whipping that out with no warning whatsoever. Here I was thinking like eyes roll, like sassy, like eye roll, but no. And also like use what you got, put that work on me all night. No, we're not gonna sleep. She's gonna rock that boat and she loved that speed. And she's talking about herself, like, it feels like, oh my god, English version has entered the chat. Like, is that not what this song is giving? And then on top of these lyrics, the song is a banger, so this is just, like, so amazing. But let's keep going. Again, they do such a good job at balancing the, like, softer parts with the more intense parts. This album really is a booty shaker. Trying hard not to booty shake. I love the boldness. Miyeon representing that woman. I know though. Oh my gosh. I feel like Idol just never ceases to amaze and impress with just the fact that they're willing to go there without hesitation, like from line 1. And then with this like kind of campy beat on top of it too, like icons, truly. And again, one of my favorite things about Idol is how it feels like each member has a really distinct role in each song, and it's not just like this member gets this line and this member gets this line and da 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 da. It really does feel like each member has a unique role to play and a unique purpose. So, you know, you hear Soyeon say ass in the first line and it's kind of like, yeah, like that makes sense. But then you hear Miyeon say fuck in the most like gentle way. And it's just like, oh, I feel scandalized. I just always ask myself, like, how are they going to keep topping themselves? And then they do it. And every album, they just manage to raise the bar and continue to shock us. So I'm loving the increased edge, or heat, maybe I should say, with this English album. But we're gonna go to the next song here, which is Flip It. So again, because they're bringing the heat in this album, I feel like the sass factor is not going anywhere. So the question is, what level of sass factor are we getting? Where, you know, out of 10, the minimum for this album would be like a 5. It has to be. So I don't know. I'm drawing a blank in terms of what Flip It could be interpreted as in this scenario, unless it's like, I think of like Whip It, like dun 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 dun. Who knows? Maybe we're getting a Salt and Pepper throwback here, but let's listen to Flip It. So we're getting more like a hip-hop vibe now. Are we gonna get some rapping? Oh. Huh. I'm not. Ouch. Oh, so they said G-Idle there.
Making a meal, that's the boss girl check. Cutting him off, that's the boss girl flex. We don't play commercial.
Feels very tongue-in-cheek, this rap. Almost like Nicki Minaj-y. Ooh. Oh, Mia's just like so bringing the intensity on this album. Ooh. Chua! Oh. Her saying you are not, just of all people, just like twists the knife. They're really bringing the bangers on this album, aren't they?
I know your haters gonna hate this. Making moves in the mood, I'm acting reckless. Yeah, such a queen, I'm a dream, better respect this. Yeah, throw the 808 at me and then won't.
Their English on this though is incredible. Not just the fact that they're rapping, but also in English needs to be commended. I will never be ready. Not with the intensity of this album that they are bringing. I love that we're getting rapping from all of them. Are we gonna get a Miyeon rap? Ooh, that little like think, 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 think. It's very like quirky instrumental. And again, I love them always bringing the camp factor. I love a group that doesn't take themselves too seriously, and I feel like I-DLE is that group. Even when they're being serious, there's still always that little element of camp, like with I Want That and evoking the Britney Spears song. Because I just feel like sometimes K-pop and different artists can take themselves like so seriously. And, you know, well, not all of their music has been in that camp territory. And I'm not saying all artists should be in that, like no one should take themselves seriously ever. It's more so like, I like recently that they've gone more in that like camp silliness direction. And I feel like it really suits them. I know that wouldn't suit every group, but it really does with them because, again, I feel like they know who they are, each of them, and their role within the group, so they can really lean into it and almost like bring the fun and the sass to it, you know? So, you know, is this the most lyrically inventive song in the world? No. But does it need to be? No. Again, I feel like Miyeon's vocals are really shining on this album, but I'm also just like super impressed with Shuhwa as well. And I appreciate the almost like homage feel of this album too. Like that one song being a Britney homage feeling like, and then this song almost feeling like a Nicki Minaj homage. Wow, that rhymed. A Minaj homage. Especially this like Find Me in the Islands with these diamonds on my neck. Like it felt very Nicki Minaj-y, the intonation and the almost like staccato-ness of the words. And I like that even though obviously all of these songs are in English, that this album still feels distinctly I-DLE. I feel like if you were singing or rapping in this case in a different language, it could get kind of lost in the sauce, like your identity. But if anything, I feel like it's almost like solidified things. And it makes me super curious to see how we close it out here with Tall Trees and what kind of note that we end on here after all this sass and intensity. Because like Tall Trees, I literally have no idea what that could evoke. Maybe like a feeling of being lost, like because you know if you're surrounded by a lot of tall trees it could feel a little bit disorienting. Maybe that's the only thing that comes to mind. So yeah, maybe this is kind of like a more like ballady song, or at least like bringing like the intensity down a bit, potentially. Even if it's like a more upbeat song, it might be like in a minor key. I don't know, we'd have to listen and find out, I suppose. So let's listen to Tall Trees. Definitely slower.
Branches exploding.
Ooh.
My leaves are golden stars.
Those beautiful vocals are right off the bat.
Birds love to breeze by. Dogs come to sing my bark.
So they're trees.
My expectations stay on low, but you're the sun, you make them grow. If there's an nest behind your back, just let me know. 'Cause nostalgia's for nostalgia's for
So they've almost like built themselves up so much in the album that it's like I'm building myself up for a fall.
My trunk is filled with stuff for a picnic card.
Now I want to go for a picnic.
Flowers and grasses,
I feel like I can see the image they're creating. Pardon, Minnie. That was incredible, that run. I just like have a whole new found appreciation for their vocals in this album. And how they're delivering the emotion too. Because I feel like sometimes that can be hard to pick up on when you don't necessarily know the words or understand the words. If it's in Korean, at least for me, because I don't speak Korean. So it can be kind of like you pick up on the cues of the emotion of the song through their delivery. And so that might kind of like get lost a little bit in the shuffle if it's like, oh, okay, well, like I can just read the words. I can see what it means and what they're feeling. But even if I didn't, I feel like they're still doing such a good job at delivering the emotion when it's not really a language that is their first language. So again, I just feel so blown away by this and how much work must have gone into making sure that everything feels just as seamless in an English song. So yeah, whoever is responsible, well done. And of course, Soyeon's vocals, always underrated. Wah! It's like a little fly, sorry. I love hearing their vocals play off of one another, you know? I like that we had a bit more of a tender song to finish things off, because I was literally just talking about this when I was doing my reaction to Le Seraphim's debut EP, where I feel like sometimes those like girl boss slay type of songs, which is not this, but like sometimes when you get a bunch of those and nothing else, it can feel a little bit hollow. So I'm glad that by the end they, sang about something a little bit more vulnerable, because I feel like it makes the rest feel a little bit more human. So, with as much sass and intensity as was brought on this album, it does feel like this closes the loop super well. And it's nice to see that more vulnerable side of them. Because, as much of a lot of their attitude feels very aspirational, this part feels more relatable. So it almost makes the aspiration feel more attainable, if that makes sense, when they bring in a vulnerable song like this, of this fear of someone who's gonna break your heart. Because I think we've all been there before, of being afraid to fully put ourselves out there. And my expectations stay on low. You're the sun, you make them grow. Of, I really want to stay guarded and I want to stay hidden, but you're just bringing out this feeling in me that it's hard to deny. And of course, delivering this passion and these feelings throughout the album through their delivery as well, not just the lyrics. So yeah, I love this album. This was such a pleasant surprise, not because I thought it was going to be bad, of course not, but more so, that I kind of had no expectations for what an English album would be like. I just didn't have a bar, I suppose, for them to surpass, but I feel like no matter where that bar was, they were going to have surpassed it, because this was just fun. It was clever, it was intense, it made me blush. I went on a journey from this first song, from I Do to Tall Trees. But folks, we're not done yet, because while I was in Korea, I picked this up. I was just absolutely stunned by the prices of K-pop albums when I was in Korea, and I bought, I think, at least 10 albums. Because first of all, this was 18,700 won, which is almost dollar for dollar in Canada. And then on top of that, the store where I bought this was having 20% off if you just showed them that you were following their Instagram. And then on top of that, in Korea, when you spend more than $30, you get the tax back. So it ended up being less than 18,700 won, whereas in Canada, the Digipack for the site that I normally order albums from is $27.90, and then you also have to pay for shipping and, order a second album if you don't want to pay for shipping, or it would be $15. So, this would be a third of the price in Korea than what I pay in Canada. Yes, all this to say, I had to snatch this up, so let's open it together, shall we? But I'm going to move this back here so that we can be nice and centered. All right, so I have no idea what the contents are of this Digipack. I always like to go into album unboxings as blind as possible, because I feel like it just makes the experience of unboxing more fun. And of course, I got the Soyeon version because Soyeon's my bias. They did have the other version as well at plenty of stores, but I just I wanted this one. Plus, I just really wanted a Soyeon photo card, which I haven't pulled yet. So I kind of wanted to fix the odds. But okay, so opening this up, we have our CD and the photo card just flew out. But it does look like we won't just have Soyeon pictures. Looks like we have some group photos as well. So I imagine we'll have some photos of Soyeon scattered with the lyrics. So she's kind of blowing a bubble and then has this really long nail. But yeah, I really love this kind of like flame superimposed over her face. It just adds to the like stare that she has going on. And then we just have this final group shot here, and that's pretty much it for the Digipack. So now that I've gone through the contents, I felt safe to look it up, and it seems like there's 6 possible photo cards that I might get. I just realized my clip lights are automatically set to turn off at 9:30, and it is now 9:30. So let's see what Soyeon photo card we get. So here we go. Wait. What? Oh my gosh, here I was like thinking that buying the Soyeon Digipack meant that I would get a Soyeon photo card, but I guess not. But hey, you know what? This photo card of Shuhwa is absolutely beautiful. I really love this soft pink on her and the nails and the hair. Like, this is just a great look. And you know what? If I wasn't going to get a Soyeon photo card, I'm very happy with this one. But here I was thinking I'd cracked the code, but obviously not. Guess that just means I'm gonna have to keep buying I-DLE albums. Oh no. But anyways, friends, thank you so much for joining me for this reaction. I had a lot of fun. I would love to know which of the songs on this album were your favorite, if you have any favorites, and how you just generally felt about this album overall. I don't know if I had a favorite on this album because I really feel like despite there being this underlying theme, that every song really did bring its own unique thing. And I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I feel like I enjoyed this more than the I Feel album. Like, I really enjoy some of the songs off of I Feel individually, but I feel like for me as an album, that Heat was a bit stronger. Again, tell me if that's a hot take and if you feel differently about I Feel. Always love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, and I can't wait to continue on my I-DLE journey. I still have a few albums left. I still have I Love and I Never Die, as well as some of their one-off singles a little bit earlier in their discography that I missed, and Soyeon's solo album. So I will be getting to those, do not worry. The question is when, but I promise it is coming. So please stay tuned. Please make sure you're subscribed so that you know as soon as I upload those reactions. But in the meantime, I hope you are doing well, staying safe, taking care of yourself, unleashing your inner heat, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.